Yo, what it do? It's your boy Tom back here with another video. And my last video about 5 reasons why construction sucks hasn't really picked up any views. But I'm gonna make another one and give you a short little video off of Fox News Network. And this is a little summary on what's going on with millennials and working in the construction field. And I'm gonna give you my facts and my opinions on it. I only been working in construction for about 7 months, and after 7 months I learned a lot, but I can see a lot of downfalls in working in construction. But let's get into it.
President Trump in Florida yesterday talking about jobs, job training. But as we've been reporting, millennials don't want construction jobs. Here's an idea from Ed Lazar, I should say, former White House economic advisor, writing in the Wall Street Journal. Send us you're young, you're educated. He's talking about immigrants, skilled immigrants. Come on in, Michael Bellerman, Associated Builders and Contractors CEO. There's a shortage of construction workers. Millennials don't want the jobs. Why not bring in more immigrants?
Why not, Trump?
Stuart, I think that's a great question.
You built a wall.
We've got a significant workforce shortage. We're at all-time highs. Over 500,000 job opportunities in our industry. Yes, we've brought on about 300,000 over the last 12 months. But when you think about millennials, if you take out VOTEC training, education, shop class, and then you give only college promotional materials to the guidance counselors, and no one wants to talk about careers in technical education, no wonder we got...
Alrighty. Yeah, first off with Trump, his first thing was, let's build the wall, let's get these illegal immigrants out of here. But I still stay in Michigan, and it's a nice few amount of, I guess I can say Mexican or foreign people that does a lot of skilled work, and they do a good job. I see a lot of Mexicans doing masonry work, brick payers. I seen some carpentry guys. I seen some roofers. It was roofers. Mexicans are a big part in construction because they know it's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it, and they skilled at it too. And second thing they brought up was school training. I know with me, the first time I got into school training, or I had workshop, I did that before. It was actually called building trades, where they taught us safety, how to wear safety, how to what did we learn in there? We learned building stuff, how to it was kind of like wood shop class, but wood shop we kind of had like a piece of wood and work and curve and do arch type stuff with wood. But there is some high schools that offer that training, but only to a certain extent. My school also had VOTEC and other training, like trade school type trades in school, and that's all fine and dandy. But it's funny that employers kind of don't see that as experience, even though you might do it for like a semester, maybe 2 or 3 months. To them, that's not really considered experience. But I'm letting talk on
this systematic problem. That's why we're excited about the president signing Perkins Act yesterday. It does 2 things. It changes the system. One, it basically takes away and streamlines the cost to apply and comply with federal grants for technical education. That is significant. The second thing it does is encourages employers and states to partner with employers to bring them in to design the curriculum so that the student competencies in that product is employable when they graduate.
Why do you think millennials don't want jobs in the construction business? Is it because they don't want to get their hands dirty?
I think it's the best kept secret in our country.
Dirty.
Working in construction industry, you've had so many stories of people that have been on your show. One was an apprentice. He went through his 4-year apprenticeship training. A year after he graduated, he owns his own electrical subcontracting company. Yesterday, The president highlighted one of the graduates of the technical institute that they were at yesterday. He's making 6 figures. It's a big secret because all we're doing in schools is saying you got to go to college. You got to go to college.
How much can a welder make? Or just entry-level welder in a construction company, off the top of your head, what can they make?
So an entry-level welder that comes into an apprenticeship program is going to make probably $35,000 when they graduate from their apprenticeship and get the competencies that they need. If we can get them up and running in 18 months, they can make over $100,000. The demand is that high for a welder at this moment in time.
What about an electrician? I mean, you go in as an apprentice and...
Hey, hold on, I gotta... Alright, the first thing he said about, that's different when you trying to be a entrepreneur or start your own business. Of course, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do construction. And by the way, the part of construction I was in was HVAC. It stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, which I went to school for. Trade school. After high school, they don't offer HVAC training in schools. It's usually a trade school. So I worked somewhat in the field. I worked residential prior to doing construction. And after doing construction, I had high hopes of construction worker was where the big money is. That's where the big projects. That's where a lot of rich people put their money in to build. In my case, we was building an apartment complex, and seeing that was where the money at. But after seeing, it's not where the money at. He was welders. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know welders, but from what I told, welders do make some decent money. I know working 35,000 an hour starting off. That's maybe Rod. That's what almost $18-20 an hour. And welders, from what I can make up to 35. Electricians, I also was told, make some good money, but also it's all about experience. They give you the high numbers. This is the high numbers they give you, and that's after the least minimum of 5 years. Just like in the trade I was at, in HVAC, even though I have 5 years of residential, HVAC technician experience, it doesn't completely accumulate into construction, and it don't, because I learned a lot of duct building. I learned how airflow go. I know how to hang duct. I learned how to run thermostat wire. I learned how to do a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that you do learn on the fly. And I had to preach this. It's like you gotta put in your time to make that type of money. It's not as simple as what they saying.
Level position, how much do you make, and what do you make when you finish with the apprenticeship?
Electrician, you're going to end up making $35,000 roughly to start. When you graduate and you're a journeyman electrician, you're going to be making $60,000 to $70,000 with an opportunity to make over $100,000 if you're willing to work and put in that overtime.
If you get word out of those kind of
overtime,
incomes, I think you'll get a lot of applicants. Michael, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it, sir. See you again. Thank you.
All right, man.
President Trump.
Alright, man, it was a little bit of cap, and they forgot that little tidbit, overtime. That is a sure thing with construction, and that's one of the reasons why I moved to construction. I thought it was going to be overtime, and when I got the job, they would say if the foreman or the project manager say we got to work overtime, within a couple of days' notice, you have to work overtime. And I'm assuming it's a deadline, it's a time schedule to get stuff done. And mind you, I got this job after COVID hit, lockdown, so I'm assuming they was going to be a month or two behind schedule. But it wasn't that much overtime in my field. It was like I worked maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 days of overtime, and not even full 8 hours. But I know for a fact, electricians, they do, the company that we work at our site, they work overtime. They do 10 hour or 12 hour days. I want to say Yeah, I want to say they do about 10-hour days, and they work Monday through Thursday. Some of them work on Friday, so it is overtime, and that's also included. Yeah, you can make 35 a year, but some of that money is overtime money. I don't see even a lot of even after apprenticeships, after your apprenticeship, I don't see you making. On average, I see you maybe making 18 to 20. You're not gonna be making 35 an hour. The most I see you might make as electrician foreman maybe 40. I know my foreman. A foreman is pretty much just a supervisor that had a lot of experience in construction. Basically, yeah, they probably make the big bucks. You got them, and then you usually got the project manager. Project manager is probably more technical on it. His job is literally to get everything finished at a timely fashion and make sure everything's working. But some of this is cap. I ain't gonna lie. They don't tell you also that this is back-breaking labor. And millennials, we not stupid, bro. We's not stupid. And if we working and we doing all this overtime, it's like you barely got time to your family, yourself. Yeah, you making good money, but who like working 12-hour days and barely got time for your family? Yeah, you making good money, you might buy this, buy that, but it's really backbreaking work too. Especially for HVAC, because there's a lot of sheet metal duct you got to move around. There's a lot of parts and stuff that you have to manual move and lift, and you on ladders, you in awkward positions, you in dangerous conditions as well. Construction is very dangerous. Safety is a big priority, and wearing hard hats, safety glasses, boots, all that is important. But all that plays in the factor in why millennials not doing construction. You got dudes that can sit at home, play video games, can make just as much money as these construction guys. They don't have to get their hands dirty. I don't know if you can see, my hands is scraped up, ashy, cuts, minor cuts all the time. I don't mind it. It's work for me. I'm used to it, but it's still a big factor in to if you want to be in this career. And I can see why a lot of immigrants are doing this job, because it's a job that a lot of people don't want. And us Americans, I'm sorry to say, we are lazy, and it's crazy. And I also want to bring in it. I ain't trying to bring race into it, but a lot. I know with electricians, I rarely see any black electricians. The company that work at my job, bro, there's like little to no black people. The most black people, it wasn't even no black plumbers. Now that I think about it, it's none. It was like literally the HVAC part is half and half is black and half is probably white. It's not HVAC ain't not it's a blend. In my opinion, it's a blend trade, because it's like some of this, some of that into trades. Because some things that HVAC do that we can do, also plumbers do. Like HVAC guys should know how to solder and braze for refrigerant lines, and also we can do carpentry type things, because we have to measure, cut sheet metal just like carpenters do. But they usually work with wood and metal frames and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's a lot to it. But I want to see these comments, what other people think. I think the main reason why millennials don't get into blue collar type jobs like construction or truck drivers is because of their parents. As an early millennial growing up, my dad always preached to me about going to college, get a degree, and get a career working in a high-level job involving computers. Obviously, he wants the best for me, and I can imagine many people my age bracket growing up. He's about the same. But it's funny. My parents pushed me into trades. It's like you should get a trade. You know, electrician is a good job, and I always want to be an electrician too. And I don't know if it's me not being smart. I also applied for them apprenticeships, and when I did electrician apprenticeship, you had to take a test, and if you don't get a super high score, they pick the best of the best, and then you have to work X amount of time. You still getting paid, but you had to work X amount. You getting paid cheap. But at the time, I think you was apprentice get paid like 11, 12, maybe $13 an hour, and then after you're apprentice, all of a sudden they saying, oh, you can make up to $35,000 a year, which is true, possibly, but not hourly wage wise. It's more hours. You got to work a lot more hours, more wear and tear on your body. But millennials now want to get their hands dirty while he sit behind an air conditioned desk. That's true, man. I think it's the 21st century. A lot of millennials grew up with computers. We tech savvy, and we can make more money doing tech things that's less harsh on our bodies and stuff than previous generations have. Like look, I'm on YouTube right now. I can get paid off of these videos. You know what I'm saying? In the comfort of my home without putting any labor in. Let's see. Will they train people or complain that 20-year-olds don't have 10 years experience? That's another thing, because experience, like they mentioned, like these trade school, programs in school. You could put that on your resume. It's a good start. But most companies want at least a year experience. If you're apprenticeship, you might, if you know somebody that work in that field, you might be able to get in. But a lot of times this is experience. That's why I didn't get the money that I pretty much should have got at my current job, just because I didn't have that exact experience in commercial installing work. So it's kind of crazy. And again, like, they pay you. Some companies even pay you if you're not union. The company I work for isn't union, but if they not paying you, they might pay you like a raise maybe every 6 months or so. But it's usually like a cap on that until like a certain amount of time or less. Like a foreman or project manager will pretty much give you the thumb ups and like, yeah, you should pay this guy some more money. But most of the time they don't. A lot of companies pay you to a certain amount of money to a certain point and leave you out there. So unless you're union they negotiate wages for you. But yeah, when you're a union, you also got to pay union fees, which is paying somebody for you to work, basically. So I quit construction to low pay, long hours, back-breaking work, no thanks. Now I'm a farmer. Only people making money in construction are the business owner making a labor for a company is also low paying work. That's true, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It is back-breaking work, and really, you don't really need as much education as you think to do construction. To at least start off in construction. I know I got my little brother working where I'm working, and he don't even have a high school diploma yet, and he's working. He just showed he's a hard worker and willing to work these conditions. You in. Yeah, 35. Yeah, it's 35 a year. After Texas, it's 30, 60 for rent. Yeah, broke. Yeah, and again, they making it seem like, oh, this guy making $100,000 a year, now he got his own business. Yeah, you got to put in the groundwork. I'm telling you, that guy probably put. Also, so I know I'm making this video long, but my the project manager I work for, I asked, like, there's levels to construction, and I asked, like, I got a certification for HVAC, and I also licensed for my EPA. Yeah, EPA refrigerant, which is handling refrigeration for ACs and stuff. The next one will be like a mechanicals license, where you can go and actually buy furnaces, big AC condenser, big equipment for like HVACs. And so he told me that you just need 2 years of experience, and after 2 years you can apply. You got to pay money, but go to class and study to get your licenses, because you really just got to learn all the safety, the codes, building codes for all this. And I can see me working there just for 7 months. There's different codes and regulations of how to do things. How code on HVAC. There's an inspector for every trade there is. There's a inspector for the electricians, inspectors for the carpenters, inspector for the roofers, inspectors for everything. You gotta have everything. Got to be up to code and in order, not done the wrong way, or something might happen. So, getting your mechanicals license is a gateway to starting your home business. You get your mechanicals license for HVAC, same as a journeyman's electrician. After you get that experience, he can take that and start his own company. A lot of guys don't do that. Why? Because it's super long hours trying to get the work you doing now. You doing 10, 12-hour days, bro, you gonna be tired. How you gonna put all that time and energy into and making your own company? And that's kind of how they kind of trap you. But it's definitely possible to go off and do your own thing, and start your own company, make money. But it weighs itself out, good and bad. But in general, millennials is not stupid, bro. We know what to do. I'm gonna read a couple more comments. Honestly, I do blue collar work, and I can say it's harder than ever. No more coffee breaks. Mandatory overtime is almost every day. 20-minute lunch breaks. If you make a mistake, managers will come after you. Not all millennials are lazy. Many are just trying to survive. That's true. I don't know why, but in construction, you do get a shorter break time. Ours was 20 minutes. It was 30 minutes. But our boss gave us an extra 15, so we had a 45-minute break. Usually, most jobs get an hour break, but load of BS. No one wants to train an apprentice. They want qualified people. That's facts, man. Cheap people, perfectly both, but no apprenticeships. Apprenticeships is kind of rare though. It's out there for companies that's not union, and with union, like I said, they want you to be tested, certain qualifications, all that good stuff. But it's good for a young cat out of high school. I mean, you can make some good money compared to people that's going to college. Maybe not. College people might make more money than you, but you be up there, and again, you can possibly make 6 figures. Again, if you on the business path, you can make up to the high 80, 90,000. If you spend 5, 10 plus years in your trade, then companies might pay you a little bit more, but not to a certain cap. It's some trades I don't see them making over 100,000 unless you start your own business and make your own money. I went to an interview and they offered me $9.25 an hour. No thanks. Yeah, it is cheap. Fox really like the word millennials. Probably been working construction for about 2 years now, and it's honestly pretty shitty. And in my other videos too, man, shitty is the word, man. Now my biggest pet peeve with construction was shit. Was the shitter, dog. It's literally you shitting outside in the elements. All these other guys fucking don't have no home training. You might walk into a urinal in there and it's like shit all on the toilet seat. Piss, like the little piss in the corner thing. Shit might be frozen because it's cold as fuck. It's really nasty, bro, and not definitely comfortable to work in. Love that they want the job, stop lying, just keep cheap labor in the country. Yeah, some of them, man, they was giving cap, bro. Some of them numbers they was giving is kind of high end. Some fields I say is more profitable than others. Definitely, electricians make a lot of money. Somebody told me the elevator union makes some good money. Yeah, it's a few of them. As an electrician for 25 years, I've rather created a lot in bad things as a abstinence and hurt my back through working hard with long hours. I would prefer a computer job, to be honest. Bro, and I know a lot of people, man, that's work in construction that has back problems, man. It's a lot of heavy lifting. And that's the one thing, too, I was done with construction, bro. A lot of times when you new to a construction company, bro, whether you skilled or not, bro, for some odd reason, I was always the laborer, like go and lift and move this heavy stuff. But at the same time, I wanted to learn the skillful stuff, like how do I hang duct, how do I run thermostat run, how do I install this heat pump, how do condenser. I was more on the technical side of it because I've been doing technician work for over 5 years, so I want to get to the nitty gritty, not the heavy lifting. But I knew, heavy lifting was probably part of the job, but the pay they was giving me wasn't adding up. It really wasn't. Let's see, a few more I know. What you doing when there's a workforce shortage? You raise wages. Capitalism. You're right. A lot of people probably will get in construction if you raise the rate. Especially, again, the conditions, the things you got to go through to work in construction. And I will say that if you do work in construction, get a life insurance policy. Especially if you're doing dangerous work, like if you're a roofer. Roofers make good money too. I know I mentioned that, but it's a lot of things that can go wrong in construction site. Some might fall on you. A lot of things. Born in 1955, worked construction for a year. I get a list of reasons why I will go back and why others don't want to do it. Why go into a job where you are competing with someone who will do your job for less? Seems like a lot of work and paying for little pay. For those construction companies are trying to get the most for less. Of course, there are other problems, but the bottom line matters. Man, like they said, a lot of construction companies want more for less. I feel like an idiot, but again, I got the experience from it. If I choose to go back, I at least get 7 months of experience doing this. And honestly, I want to be like my project manager. I want to like fucking be the boss, bro. Like if I'm not doing the laborish type things. And I think just because I asked and got my brother in, I think a lot of companies just really don't care. As long as you got a way to get to the job site, you got a good driving record. And again, most construction companies don't even do a background check. So a lot of like people that's had a felony or just got out of jail also is more easier to get in construction because they feel like it's an easier job to get into. I'm 19 and work 5 to 6 days a week, and I take welding classes as a technical college. I currently work as an underloader with production pay at a warehouse. I am about to take a job working more hours with less pay just to get into a welding environment, but that's not even what I will be doing. You show me how I can make a decent wage and I will believe this crap. Yeah, man. It's true, man. It's like vice versa, bro. But this is a short little video. Almost 30 minutes, bro. I gotta cut this down to half. But if you like what I'm saying, if you a young cat, thinking about joining construction, and that's the killer part. You gotta get into construction when you're young. That's the key. You gotta get into it young, get the experience up. You definitely should be fit by doing construction. That's the plus thing about it. But look to work your way up. Constantly learn. constantly involved, so you're not on the bottom where you always doing the physical labor stuff. Because the smart people will do more of the technical side of things, and spare your body damage. But yeah, it's your boy Tom, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, and your boy's out. Please subscribe, like, subscribe.